But it is kind of like a secret world deal. Like you have to punch the code in to get into the door, or you have a key fob.
That's kind of like subcultures have always interested me. There's always sub rosa, right?
Yeah.
There's the sub rosa world of the inside, whether it's comedians or stunt guys or cops or military. There's always that that in clique, and I think that's what fascinates a lot of people a lot of times because they want to be part of that little. We're originally going to name. Some people give me shit because we called number 3 Parabellum, and then number 4 was like just John Wick 4. We actually had a title for John Wick 4. It was called Hagakure, Japanese word that literally meant like hidden leaves. It was a treatise on samurai code of ethics, and it really spoke to. It was kind of like the art of the way of dying. Like how do you prepare yourself for a good death? And a lot of it dealt with you can only relate to people. A warrior can only relate to a warrior, whether you're on other sides or not. A cop can only relate to a cop, and whatever. A teacher can only relate to a teacher. That inside sub rosa thing that only each other knew each other, kind of thing. We got it, but we didn't want to put a title on it. We kind of lost it. But I thought it was a really cool thing about being sub rosa or being in the inside clique of something. Yeah, maybe on the next one.
Why'd you decide just?
It was like it was the actual treatise. It was from like 1646 or something like that. Unfortunately, it had been used during World War II as a rallying cry for militaristic Japan to get behind. So in some Asian markets, it could be considered.
Could be a problem. And
we didn't want to take
China
a chance. It was kind of, between China, Japan, and Korea. And we're like, okay, I get it. We want to be sensitive to that, but we still thought it was a cool name.
Yeah. It's what a weird world it is to make films and then have them be distributed worldwide.
It's because it's like I'm sure you're always going to piss off somebody.
Yeah,
you're always going to get something or somebody can be something. So you just, again, I like doing the fantasy film kind of thing. I like creating our own worlds. I like doing that because it's ours and it's not taking a side. It's not really. I don't have to adhere to history. I don't have to adhere to an IP. You can kind of just do our thing, and I think that kind of freedom helps a lot. I don't think people get, as bent out of shape sometimes on that because you're creating your own world.
Do you feel like there's room for another thing like this in your life? Like, is this something you're going to try to do again? Like recreate an entire ecosystem, an entire world?
That's a good question. I don't know. Again, like we say, it was unintentional, completely unintentional, almost a fluke. We did one, then we didn't know. I didn't know anything about the continentals worldwide or the markers or anything till the second one we made that up. And then the third one we're like, let's call it the high table. Sure, someone will buy that. Sure. And we just keep, kind of riffing on stuff to do and just use your imagination.
But it works.
It does, and I think again.
And it works that it's intercontinental too, that it's international. Like when he goes to Italy and he goes and gets suited.
Right. Well,
there.
that was probably one of my favorite things. I love the suit. Yeah. I love
that actor, whoever that actor was, that is explaining to him the guns and.
What is it? Peter Seranovitz.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was in a couple. He was in. God, he's so good.
The suits and the guns. Like this whole scene.
That guy right
awesome.
there, the ball guy right there.
Yeah.
That's Luka Mosca. That's actually my wardrobe supervisor. I couldn't cast somebody in time, so I made him do it. And then Peter Svanovitz.
This guy's fucking
He's so fucking funny.
Yeah, you just buy him as a complete psycho.
He literally flew in on the day, learned the lines, did the gig, and flew out.
Really?
Yeah, he was awesome.
Wow, he's incredible.
What was that movie? Spy with Statham.
Oh yeah,
he was the Italian. He played the Italian spy.
Right.
He was so funny.
So the guy that's doing the wardrobe was your actual wardrobe?
Well, yeah,
guy?
I couldn't. I kept telling, like, people would come in and start reading. I'm like, just be like my guy here. Be like my wardrobe guy. And we couldn't find anybody to be Luca here. And Luca was so subtle. I'm like, fuck it, Luca. You're doing it, dude. You're doing it.
And he'd never acted before.
Never acted before.
He's
in his
great.
Life. He's fantastic.
He's great.